One of my favorite things about Watch Dogs, obviously, is the fact that it is in our backyard. It's in San Francisco, it's in the Bay Area, it's a lot of familiar sights, and they've done a really, really good job of kind of nailing that vibe.
Yeah.
I mean, we see stuff, like our office is almost in the game.
Yeah.
I mean, the place, like, we'll walk to get coffee and we'll pass stuff that's in the game, and it's very
yeah,
surreal.
like half of my commute is in the game, my neighborhood's in the game, City Hall where I got married is in the game. It's just like really interesting to kind of be like, I'm in a city playing a game that takes place in a city while I'm playing that game. It's very, very meta.
It's dreamlike.
Yeah.
And there's a great attention to detail, but there's definitely some stuff that they've screwed up.
Yeah.
So I figured, as some Bay Area natives, we can tell you guys the things that are absolutely not in Watch Dogs that totally should be there. Starting with the weather. There's dynamic weather in Watch Dogs, but there is even more dynamic weather in San Francisco in the Bay Area. Obviously, the fog is kind of the most famous thing.
He even has his own name.
Yeah, Carl
the Fog.
He's on Twitter.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the weirdest thing in the Bay Area is that you will drive 2 blocks and suddenly you'll be in an entirely different climate. There's this weird thing that happens where 3 o'clock will roll around and it'll go from being like a beautiful sunny day to like a bizarre foggy dystopia. It looks like a John Carpenter movie.
Which you can account for in the game because you are able to change your clothes all the time and on the fly. But like we really live in a city where you wake up and it's cold and you walk to the train and it's hot. And in the middle of the day, you're like, I'm in LA. And then at 5 o'clock, you're like, it's winter time and it's time for hot cocoa.
Yeah, I mean, remember old N64 games where the draw distance was so bad? Like Turok looks like it's perpetually in fog. There are parts of San Francisco that actually look like that.
Yeah.
But if they were to put that in Watch Dogs, people would be like, the graphics in this game suck. The draw distance is terrible. I can only see like 200 feet. And it's like, it's kind of.
I didn't think about that. Yeah, you want fog in like a horror game, not an open world game.
Yeah, and then of course one big thing that they totally screwed up on: there are no bicycles.
Yeah,
bicycles are a huge.
Are we putting this picture up? Look at those butts.
They got like fully rendered vaginas in this game.
That's true, they do.
Like, I don't feel too bad about it. You can shoot cops. What do you want? That's a man's butt cheek.
Yeah, this is actually one of the most bikeable cities in the world.
Yeah,
I was in Amsterdam.
Also one of the least drivable because of all the cyclists.
Because of all the bikes.
Yeah.
I was in Amsterdam over the summer with our producer, Zach Ryan, and our news hound, Andrew Goldfarb. That's another place where I was just like, bikes own the streets there. There's a hierarchy. Here in San Francisco, there's actually, and it's weird to think about this with this picture of butts on your laptop right now, but there's this thing called the Wiggle, which is basically a way that bike riders can get around the city without going up any major hills and mountains, because they're pretty much everywhere. This is a city full of bikes. There's actually even like bike stands where you can stop and swipe your credit card and hop on a bike and go. And Watch Dogs is all about video, like different vehicles, and there's like pretty much every type of vehicle you can get in. I'm kind of amazed that there's no bicycles.
It's kind of stunning. Like there's a thing called critical mass that happens once a month where the entirety of Market Street is just clogged with bicycles. Like it's like a bike meetup, and it drives everybody crazy who's not on a bike. So it's weird that they don't have that in there.
Yep.
In addition to that, there's also a Scourge in San Francisco, which is other alternate forms of transit. Razor scooters are a big one. You see a lot of grown men scootering around like damned idiots.
Yeah, and most of them look like Scott Baio.
Yeah, and then on top of that, you got razor scooters, you've got skateboards, you've got motorized skateboards, there's rollerblades, there's segways, there's hoverboards, and then there's those weird things that look just like seesaws with like large wheels. It's like somebody's like, what if they made a skateboard with one huge wheel? We saw a guy just getting coffee a minute ago, and we're just like, he just looks like a weird mini boss from a game. It's just, it's a weird place to be.
Yeah.
And then in addition to that, there's like about just, I would say 80% too few Priuses in Watch Dogs. Like this is a very, ecologically friendly city, and when Priuses came out, it's like, oh yeah, let's all get an electrical car or whatever.
And to be fair, this is probably one of the only times in recorded history where Max and I will look directly into a camera and say, we need more Priuses.
Yeah.
But if you're making a game that's supposed to be based on a place and you want to be identical to it, you need more Priuses.
Yeah.
That's why people drive here. They're stupid and annoying. I get it. They're environmentally sound and safe, and now more than ever, we kind of need stuff like that.
Yeah.
But they're not in the game, so
yeah,
or at least not as many as there should be.
Ubisoft, you screwed up. Another big one, obviously, you can mess with the traffic signals. You can totally just break all kinds of laws. So little things like traffic laws aren't a big deal. But I've always said that the sort of the motto of San Francisco is no left turn, cash only. Like that is the thing. You pay for everything with digital currency. You can steal people's money out of their phone or whatever, and you can turn left wherever the hell you want. And in reality, in San Francisco, those are things that are very difficult to do. There's some places that are like
along those lines. I will say there's something that Watch Dogs got incredibly correct in that T-shirts and hoodies cost $185 in that game, and that's pretty on point. Because in San Francisco, buying just regular ass clothes is stupid expensive.
Yep.
Pretty much buying anything. Like lunch is $16.
Yeah. Other thing is, San Francisco is not a great place to drive. One of the worst places is the Bay Area, the Bay Bridge toll plaza. Like, sometimes if you're in the carpool lane or whatever, you get through there real quick. But like, if you're going from like, the East Bay to the city, the fact that you get to drive over like, it's cool to be able to like take control over this digital city and hack into everything and do all kinds of crazy stuff. That's cool. I'm totally enjoying this fantasy world where I don't have to wait in line to get across the Bay Bridge. You just drive out there. So,
dude, there's literally never been more than 6 cars on the Bay Bridge in Watch Dogs 2. It's kind of amazing.
It's lovely.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
And then finally, this is a huge one. There are not enough feces in Watch Dogs.
Ooh,
That's poopy.
Are you sure? That looks like
Probably.
somebody threw a milkshake. Did you take that picture?
Some people are very ill. No, I found that on the internet. I searched San Francisco poo-poo. But yeah, so there should be more feces. I don't know how you show urine in a video game.
Can I add to that list real quick? Left shoes. There are just constantly. San Francisco is a city where you walk around. There are shoes, like just one shoe, and like a crutch. You're always like, could he walk again? Is that what happened here? Like I've seen just wheelchairs where it's like it's a miracle. Like what happened? Yeah, I think it needs more sort of just like garbage type stuff strewn about, and it's poop, syringes, shoes, crutches, wheelchairs.
I hope we get that as DLC.
Yeah.
It's just the urban decay of Watch Dogs.